Okay, cool. So this is the consultancy space for the customer experience for partners. We will start by like some little disclaimers. The first one is like what I say is more important than what is in the slides. Ask me your questions and let me know if you can see the screen or not, and if the presentations is clear. And all questions are allowed apart from the job description 1819 and the questions that are already in the applications. So we start with a little history for customer experience for partners, which is the new name that we started using this year for the ICX department. So in the past years, in ICX department, the main product that we were running is the incoming global talents. Last year, for example, the MCVP ICX started a sales development program to train the members of the local committees on sales. Also, there was a national account management of national accounts done by the MCVP ICX in the national level. This is a question that I will abort more in details afterwards. So for the strategy that was happening on the project for the first semester, we had an MCVP customer experience for partners, as I am also MCVP partnership development. And one of the main strategies was implementation of GV culture, which means the focus was incoming global volunteer. So that was a big change in the federation. What happened is we didn't get the results that we were waiting for. In the other side, one of the strategies was a kind of process culture, which means all what is legalities, contract, etc. By the end of the first semester, our MCVP customer experience for partners quitted, so I took the lead on the department. So one of the main, let's say, strategies for the second semester, the first one, of course, is the commission and management and education. And the main project is the creation of a new national education cycle. This is something that was done with contents, with all the details needed for the member in order to perform. Also, what was put into acts is to have a kind of focus LCs that's with whom I am working more closely than the others. And the idea is I invited all the local committees that were running incoming exchanges to choose between incoming global talents and incoming global volunteer. So we have now 4 LCs that are between the current focus LCs in incoming global talents, and we have 2 LCs that are piloting incoming global volunteer. So this is our main idea. They are run. I have a special NST which supporting them with all what is needed and having team meetings with them, weekly team meetings, etc. In the other side, for the focus LCs in the incoming global talent, I am the one supporting them, having weekly team meetings. We already ran a first product summit in the beginning of February. Next week, we are having our national conference, so that will be our second touch point. And in April, we will have a second product summit. So this is mainly the new things that's happening and will happen this semester concerning the commission management. In the other side, we established a new culture of account management since the sales that we are running into our partner. This is something I will go deeper afterwards. So the main things that we are going through is the international relations. So we have now Spain and Italy as entity partners for IGT. So this is something that with whom we are working together to improve our process. Also, national AR principles were created.
Excuse me, Spain and
Italy. So also national AR principles were created in order to make it clear how the MC will work with the LCs and even how the LCs will work between them to make everything clear, to put it in order. Finally, now it's one of the projects that we work in the second semester is the implementation of virtual IPS and even a faster process in the value delivery. So for the main achievements and challenges that we have, the first one is the creation, like I was talking, of the national education cycle for IGT, which is kind of really complete. The product summit, which was really successful by having all the focus LCs present. Then the national ERA principles that were voted in our legislations during January. Now we are using new contracts, new job descriptions forms, everything to put everything in order through the legalities, the French legalities. In the other side, like I was talking, we have weekly team meetings, and we are now starting implementing HubSpot on the local level too, since we were using it on the national level. Something to know is on the national level, we were running IGT2 as a PD team. And it was kind of successful since all the numbers of exchanges that we have until now in incoming area and all the openings that we have until now are from the national side. How does, and that's something that's finished by having a partnership with one of us to generate leads. So, for example, for the month of January, we succeed to generate more than 120 companies that we are now doing a follow-up. We managed to open kind of 36 opportunities just in the first month. So it's something that shows that we are growing disruptively. So the idea now is, thanks to this partner, we are creating a strategy for the local committees, because the main objective of this year is to stop doing exchanges on the national level, on the MC side, and to focus just on the local level and to give them the opportunity and the tools to do it. So the main challenges is the IGT culture in the federation. This is something, since we don't have that good results as in the outgoing area, since the incoming area until now was kind of struggling. And that's mainly what means by the IGT culture. So mainly that's it. Now I can open it to the Q&A, and yes, I don't know if you have any questions. Please go ahead.
Hi again. So
yeah, of course.
First of all, thank you for this presentation. It was very accurate. Like I already have a lot of information. The first thing I want to know, like why the ICX culture in ISAC inference was so low? Was
okay.
was it out of choice or out of limit or external limitations?
Okay, cool. Thank you for your question. So, ISAC France in the last years passed by, let's say, dark years. Like, let's say we're talking about 2012 and before. So we started again, let's say, the reborn, if we can say so, in 2013, 14, and 14, 15 especially. The idea was, if we want to grow, we need to make a choice. Which products are we going to grow in? So the choice was OGV. And if you see the numbers in OGV, we are kind of really growing disruptively, since we are doubling our numbers each year until this year also. So until this year, like I said, when we saw that the number in OGVs are going really well and we are growing really good, we took the decision to focus on the incoming area, and especially in the second semester on to focus on incoming global talents. So I think this is something that a direction that we will take also for the next year, which will be that the MCVP customer experience for partner will mainly focus on the incoming global talents, and of course continue supporting some LCs that are piloting incoming global volunteer.
Yeah. All right. Why no incoming global volunteer? Why no IGV in ISAC France? Is it because like France is developed enough to not need volunteers from abroad and to develop communities, or it's still because of human resources and we have to focus on IGT?
Okay, so different reasons. Like the first one is the human resources, like you said. The second one is in France, the number of NGOs and the number of volunteers is not something that we are really missing. We are here talking about 3 million NGOs nearly, just for example, in Paris. That's the first thing. So the markets, there is a big competitor. It's a bit competitive, and most of the opportunities or the project that we launched, for example, that we are piloting now, mainly they look for specific profiles or specific native people from specific languages, which is kind of really hard to find. So this is a side. In the other side, we have really good results in this first semester in IGT, and then that's finished by the partnership that I talked to you about. So that's lead us to take the decision to more focus on incoming global talent, since we see the results there and not in the incoming global volunteer. And instead of going blindly in incoming global volunteer, we thought that it's better to run to pilot it through one or two LCs, and then if we can find something really solid, why not in the future to give it also a chance.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, one more with two follow-ups. I think different.
Of course.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to know, like, excuse me. No, why not? Like, what will be the mission of your successor if you have to give him one important thing to focus on? Like, if I am your successor, what will be the main thing to continue from your past work?
Okay, so like I said, my objective this year, even as PD or CXP, is to stop doing the incoming global talent on the national level. Okay, so this is something to keep in mind.
Like to stop it. To stop it. That's it.
Yes.
To stop incoming global talent on stop. Okay.
On the national level, and all the incoming global talents needs to be run on the local level. So, so this is my goal, for example, for this year. It's something really big. That's it's if we succeed to achieve it. So for me, the mission for next year is to have an MCVP CXP that can manage and track all the account management done by the local committees, even for the national partners that we have now, or the new partners that we will get in the next month. So the main one is to have a really strong account management culture and really strong tracking of the local committees and how the sales is done by them and how the account management is done. Something that it's good to know is now we are trying to automatize all the processes, and also to have, for example, with the 4 LCs that are my focus LCs in IGT, we have the same culture, the same vision. We use the same ways to sell, and even we use the same ways to do the account management, and even how we are working together is like I was their LCVP and they were my team leaders. So we work together, and like I said, we have team meetings, weekly team meetings, monthly one-to-ones, team standards implemented with them, and even I have monthly one-to-ones with the LCPs of these LCs, and those LCPs of those LCs are aware that finance and TM needs to support also the incoming area and to give it its importance. That's something that we were lacking of in the first semester and in the last years.
Okay, so I have two follow-up questions for this. Like the current skills and abilities of the LCs in the about how handling companies and negotiation, etc. Do we have good human resource that can do IGT efficiently on local level?
Okay.
Because the MCVP can be good, the LCVP can be good, but sometimes, remember, especially if they are young, I had this in Algeria, could
Yeah.
not do it properly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I want to know if it's the same thing in France.
So I think it depends on the LC, but the majority has the right skills, because since they are all in kind of business schools and really known universities here in France, so I think the skills are there. I think what's the problem that I noticed, and that's why I made this choice. We have more than 11 LCs that run ICX. The choice that I made to work on it just with 4 LCs, it's based on the engagement. That's the big problem. We had this mindset that incoming global talent, it's really hard to do. And if sometimes you have one LC that's made 1 exchanges, and it's for them it's something huge, like, oh, we did 1 IGT, blah blah blah. So I think the most difficult part is the engagement of the LC, and that's the first point. And I think also this is something also that we are working on this semester, the engagement, and to make them passionate about the IGT, because always it's something that they see that, oh, this product is too hard, for example, OGV is too simple compared to that, etc. So like I said, the passion and the engagement about the products.
Okay, what about the global entrepreneur? What is its place inside the IGT strategy? Do you see it as the same thing or a completely different product?
Okay, so why I didn't talk about incoming global entrepreneur, because we are not doing it actually, and that's for legal things. Why? Because here in France, if you want to do like an internship more than 2 months, you need to have a salary. Okay.
Yeah.
So and the main startups, like, they don't see the relevance of having someone for less than 2 months, and they don't see the relevance to pay the rent for him and everything. So we are working with startups now, and those startups take global talents, and they take interns for 6 months, for 1 year, etc. That's bring me to one of the main added value that IGT has in France, is that, for example, for the French students, and for example, we are allowed to do just 6-month internship here in the companies in France. But what is interesting, it's that international students, they can do 12-month internship. So for the companies, sometimes it's more important to have someone for 12 months than to 6 months. So this is one of the things that interest the most the companies and the startups. So that's why we are not running Global Entrepreneur.
All right. So we can have, and just if I get it to work, so a French person can get 6 month internship, but an international can get 1 year.
Yes, can get until 1 year, and the French one can get until 6 months. For example, the French one, they can't get more than 6 months in the same company.
All right. And what about like from the other countries? What like is it really difficult to have the work permit for people from other countries than the European Union or other developed countries?
Okay, so the only condition is you need to be students to do an internship in France.
Okay.
In the moment that you are students, no problem for the rest, since we have close collaborations with the government that we have like kind of agreements that allow us to make the processes for the visa smoother and faster. For example, it can take, let's say, 3 weeks or 1 month when you pass by ISEC. And if you don't pass by ISEC, it takes you 2 months, 3 months at least. So for now, it's been like 3 years in this federation, I think, and I never saw a visa rejected when it's stamped by ISEC. So.
One stamped, okay. Because like I'm asking this because like I am Algerian, we have a lot of visa stories with friends, and sometimes we get accepted, but sometimes too we get like refusal for very weird reasons. Like some people, some Algerian, for example, get accepted in French university and don't get the visa. You imagine that?
Yeah. So like, those things can happen. So, but for something issue like I said, for now we never had an issue with that. And also we have a kind of agreement that we are one of the list, like the few NGOs or the organizations that have the right to place talents in France. So also that's something that plays a lot.
Okay. And which kinds of company that you are targeting the most?
Okay, so like I talked briefly about one of our partners that help us in the lead generation. So mainly what they do for us is they support us in the sales, in the first part of sales. So for example, we started the first campaign in January. So I provided them with 2 buyer personas for 2 targets. The first one is multinationals, B2B multinationals. And the second one is for B2B startups or small companies. And the idea was just a try, and the location in all over France. So what we noticed is we got kind of the same amount of answers from both targets, but the first one of the multinationals, it's a long process. Like they start, oh, you can contact this one in this department, the other one, oh, I need to talk with this one, etc. But for example, when you unlock that company, we are talking about 20 opportunities or more. Like we are something huge, okay? But it's something that takes time to happen. In the other side, when we have the small companies, or we are on the startups, we are talking directly to the decision maker. So when we talk about, oh, are you interested in this? So he's the one who say yes or no. So in that case, we have a concrete yes or no, and quickly we open the opportunity and we go through the process. So what we decided to do for the 2-3 coming months, it's to focus on this second target, to have results for now, and to give it, like, say 80% of our focus, and 20% will be for the multinationals, by the objective to have 2 or 3 multinationals as a new partners by the end of this year.
Okay. And what are the fields?
What
are the fields of this,
okay, so
of these companies?
For our subproducts, our main subproduct is business administration and sales. The second one, and it's the one that is the most asked, is IT skills. So those are the 2 main subproducts that we are running. But of course, we can have other demands when we, like HR, like marketing. So those are the main fields that we get in our opportunities.
Okay, just about the international relation, because the moment you spoke about the countries, the connection was not quite well, so I didn't completely hear you. So I want to know what are your current international partners, and which one you are like. What are the views? What are the views on the future ones? What kind of country you target?
So here's the thing: is in the beginning, and if we see it from in another side, we don't really need international relations to approve our opportunities, because each time we open an opportunity, in 1 week we get more than 100 applicants, more than 200 applicants.
Yeah, I was one of
So
them. I remember.
okay, so the applicants are there. Okay,
Mhm.
but afterwards, why we decided to start doing international relations for the last, like, it's something that I started the last month.
Mhm.
It's to make the process faster and to have things more fast to approve. So the choice was made in order to have 2 or 3 entity partners from Europe and 1 or 2 from outside of Europe. For now, I am having discussion with many entities, but the first 2 that we had agreements, and we already started with one approved for Spain, for example, and we are heading to something similar for Italy. So how we work, for example, with
Okay.
Spain is they have also focus LCs for OGT. So we have a WhatsApp group,
Mhm.
a common WhatsApp group with all our LCVPs. And
Mhm.
also we have a common tracker where we share the opportunities that we have and where they share the interesting profiles that they have. So
Okay.
for now, we have those 2 entities. We will see what will come in the future.
Okay. This will be the last one. Like those speaking French is a great is an obligatory condition for the for the companies in France.
No, not really. Like, for example, it's something that's one of the main mistakes that I saw in the last years that we were doing in this federation, and it's something that I changed right away. Is I put the
Mhm.
expectations in from the beginning that uh, that like a French speaking interns is not the main profiles that we can provide you with. So now, if you check our platform, that we have many, like 20, I think, or 15 or something like that opportunity right now. Like you can find 3 or 5 where they ask for French speaking and not
Mhm.
like as the first language. So
Okay.
uh, to answer you quickly, no, and it's not. It's our focus is to have opportunities open to everyone.
Mhm. Okay. So, um, Hamza, I have no more question for now. You give me a lot of
Okay,
information, so I will have to
amazing,
go back and reflect to everything.
amazing.
Can I
Okay,
contact you back if I have other like
of course,
people inside?
of course.
Okay, great.
Yeah, of course. So just to let you know, like just send me a message on Facebook or by email. I
Mhm.
will try to answer you as soon as possible. Of course.
Okay, Facebook or email.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. Facebook or email.
okay, great.
Okay. Amazing. Okay. So thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you and have a good day.
Have a good
Thank you
day.
very much.
Bye.
Thank you for your time.
Bye.
See ya.